Yo, so what's going on, everybody? I think we are good to go here, man. Let me know what you guys see on that end. I'm not sure what the issue there, but seems pretty good, at least on this end. Hey, appreciate that, Renz. Make sure you guys hit that like. All right, so I'm gonna leave that doing its thing there. So we're gonna go ahead and try that again. Let me drop this link here. 1 second on Twitter. Blurry on here. Yeah, it's not gonna be as crisp as my OBS streams, Gary, just because I can only do up to 720p on StreamYard. I have that's why I got the little right over here, powered by StreamYard. In all honesty, man, at this point, I think I'm gonna just go ahead and just buy StreamYard and just start paying for StreamYard monthly rather than trying to force OBS to work for me. It just doesn't seem like it wants to work because it's just weird that I always have internet issues when it comes to I always have internet issues when it comes to OBS, but literally anything else that I'm running, like I'm running StreamYard right now, nothing. So I have absolutely no idea what the issue is, man, but I think we're gonna just rock with StreamYard and stop trying to be fancy for the time being. Cause like I said, man, I be extensively testing this stuff, dude. Like extensively testing it. And I don't know why, but it always seems like when I'm actually about to go live, that's when everything in, their mom wants to mess up. But let's go ahead and tweet that out. All right, so we went ahead and tweeted that out, man. Sorry about that again. Like I said, always ends up being quite the hassle and all of that good stuff. But I think, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and just rock out with StreamYard and just upload my background music and all of that stuff to have that kind of playing. I know they have like a background music area. So I might see if I can upload my own and do it that way. But either way, let's go ahead and get right into it. Finish up with the roll call. But Genosis is here. He said, "What's up? What's going on, my dude? Hope everything is good with you." Yo, Ren said, "Here, good vibes. Appreciate you, homie. Appreciate you." Hey, brother, what's going on, Barry? Hope everything's good with you. DCJ Reviews, what's up? What's up? What's up? Hope everything is good with you as well. See, Jason C made over. I was literally reading his comment about the Black Labs Jr. and everything started falling apart. Yo, what's going on, dog? He said, "All right, let's try this again for real, right?" I know. Hey, Shay, thanks so much for coming through. Hope everything is good with you as well. Hey, Umar made it over. Sup? What's up, man? Bradley, no whammies. Hey, I know, right? No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Gary said, "This is the most YouTube I watched all week." I know, man. Something with OBS. I literally had no issues last week. So this seems to be internet thing with OBS for me personally. Because anytime, like even when I had the issue and I switched to StreamYard on that last stream when I unboxed the Vivo, even with that, as soon as I switched to StreamYard, I had no issues. Like y'all can see clear as day right now, man. So in all honesty, it's probably worth me to just go ahead and pay I think it's like $40 a month or something like that, just for the peace of mind to know I'm not going to have issues. And I can, do multiple cameras, 1080p, all that other good stuff. So it would be worth it. Like I said, just for that instance, it would be worth it. And then of course, if I want to have, a guest or something hop on, it's easier to do that in StreamYard than it is on OBS. So I think I'm just going to rock out with that and kind of keep it moving. No big deal. $40, in all honesty, isn't a whole lot of money to not have to worry about issues with the stream every week, So I don't make the big bucks from YouTube, but YouTube AdSense will cover that for me. Ren said, "Don't forget to hit that like button." You already know. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Yo, Jason, I don't know who I took off at YouTube, man. I don't even be talking about YouTube like that. Johan said, "Looking good." Umar said, "Ambient mode got removed in Android 12. Maybe that's a way for Google to push pixels since it's still on like the Pixel series when you use the stand. I don't know. Kind of weird though. Pretty dope feature. I thought so anyway." Yeah, he said blurry on here. Okay. Like I said, hope everything is good with that. looks good on his end. Barry said we good. Janosa said 720p is fine. Yeah, man, I'm definitely for sure gonna at least bump it up to 1080 for sure. Like 110%, man. Janosa said it's a YouTube stream. Priority is the audio. Yeah, facts. As long as my audio sounds good, man, I'm good. Because like the whole kind of purpose in regards to doing these live streams, man, is just, people who are interested in tech can just throw it on in the background and, drive their daily commute or clean up their kitchen or whatever. Because that's how I use YouTube. If I don't catch a stream live, I'll just throw it on in the background while I'm working or something like that and not really pay attention to the video side. But I do still like to have as crispy a video as I possibly can. So I'll definitely have to go ahead and drop the money on the StreamYard subscription so I can make sure we got that taken care of. Brad said, looks crispy to me. Say less, say less. Say Gary's just spoiled by giant displays. You already know Gary is the what do we name Mr. Mobile the king of foldables. Gary was the prince. I'm the jester of foldables. And Gigi is definitely the queen. So Gary, the prince of foldables, man. I'm waiting for Gary to pick up that Vivo though. That's what I'm waiting for. When I seen one where somebody was like, I'm gonna go for like 1,400. I was waiting for Gary to be like, yeah, I went ahead and did it. So I'm waiting, man. I'm waiting. He said Ike with the guns out. Nah, man, ain't no guns here, dude. I'm dad botting it up, dog. 110%. I'm dad botting it up, homie. Let's see. Y'all crazy, man. Hey, he said, don't forget to check out Ecamm before you sell on StreamYard. Definitely will do so. I think Mike told me about that, 2 weeks ago? My only thing with Ecamm, I heard it's only on Mac, though. Does Ecamm have a Windows version of it? If it has a Windows version, I'll definitely check it out for sure. But if I gotta see if they have a Windows version, because the only thing I'm using the Mac for right now is just video editing. I just use Final Cut Pro. But I know StreamYard works for everything, Mac, Windows, everything. So I'm trying to keep something that's like cross-platform. That way I don't have to worry about, well, if I'm on Mac right now, I'm on Windows right now. I change around stuff with my devices and my electronics way too much to have, be locked in on any one thing. It's probably why I haven't picked up a lot of my Apple stuff in a minute, but yeah, I don't want to be locked in anymore, man. I lived that life, and after experiencing, Windows in its full effect, Android in its full effect, I don't plan on being really locked into anybody. He said no liquor tonight. I did get a bottle of Henny for Father's Day. I could break that out. I got a bottle for it. I got maybe about that much in the bottle, but I got a bottle of Henny. I still got some Fireball, and I got some Malibu, passion fruit Malibu. Yeah, so we got some liquor. I don't know if it's gonna be on deck tonight though. Jason said I watch streams in 360 to help save the internet. I can't with you, dog. I'm unlimited internet, man. You already know. Barry said $1,400 X Fold is no longer available. The person said selling said he is keeping it. Okay, that's what's up. No problem. That is what's up. Yeah, I can't let mine go either. In all honesty, like I just love the device too much. I'm good. That's gonna be the one that I keep. But it's rare for me to really sell anything. Like I think in the past year, I've only sold 2 phones. I had the OnePlus 9 Pro last year. I sold that one. And then I let my Surface Duo 2 go to a close friend. So shout out to you. You know who you are, homie, if you're watching. Appreciate you, dog. Yeah, I generally tend to only sell to people like close to me that I know. I don't feel like being bothered with a bunch of people trying to be stupid and asking a bunch of questions. Like, I got time for that. Sean said, Ecamm, trash. Have you used it, dog? I haven't used Ecamm yet. Is Ecamm even for Windows? Let me see. Ecamm Windows. Ecamm Live Windows. Oh, no. It says Ecamm Live is Mac only. Yeah. And they don't have plans to develop a PC version. Well, shout out to y'all for that. But yeah, I'll probably go streamer. I have heard Ecamm is really good though. So if they had a Windows version, I would be more than happy to go ahead and yeah, I would be more than happy to do that. But I like I said, I just personally don't want to get locked into using anything, especially not for live streaming. I like everything in terms of tech way too much. So no biggie, no biggie. Gary says, so I'm the Crown Prince of foldables. Sounds great. Can't get the Vivo yet. Working on it though. Okay, that's what's up. Looking forward to when you are able to pick it up, man. So pretty light week, man. In all honesty, we gonna go until the normal time, 10 o'clock for sure. But in all honesty, man, I only had one thing that I kind of want to talk about, and then it would lead into kind of the whole rantiness that I was kind of getting to, because I just kind of gotta talk about it or whatever the case may be. But let me go ahead and which screen? It would be this screen. Haha. All right. So gotta go ahead and bring this up right away, man, because this really grinds my gears. Like, I'm not gonna get super ranty on it, man, just because I do understand that, and let me make that bigger for you guys so y'all can see. But like in some regards, it can't come to the States because what they're trying to do and who they're trying to appease right away. But it kills me, man. It kills me inside. It honestly really, really does. Because of the fact that it's like we had all this hype, hyping it up, doing this. I feel like if it wasn't coming to the States, they already knew it wasn't coming to the States. So I feel like that's something that they should have kind of, like I said, alluded to from the get go. Like, let us know from the beginning, hey, this isn't going to come to, the United States and Canada just because we're trying to do A, B, and C. Like, yes, they would have definitely lost, a lot of the hype behind it, but still, like, it's like, okay, you built up a bunch of hype and then you just made everybody mad because you're not, well, I'm not gonna say everybody. You made your Canadian and United States users or potential users mad because now it's not being offered here. So like I said, I get it. There's probably logistics behind it and trying to work with carriers if that was their plan or whatever. But I'm not a fan of how this went down, in all honesty. And like for me, the biggest thing is too, like if that was the route that you were gonna go, in all honesty, I would have preferred them to not have MKBHD kind of do like the exclusive. I could show you the back, but I can't show you the software video of the phone, right? Mainly because that would have been a great opportunity for a creator from, say, India, which the India or the UK, which that's going to be like the main markets of this particular device. I would have rather, one of them get that opportunity, right? Than MKBHD. And I understand he has, over 10 million subscribers at this point. Not all of his subscribers is in the US. I get that. I 100% get that, right? But, and I'm not judging his content, but you can tell that a lot of his content is heavily focused on devices consumers here in the States can buy. It's not like he's going out and purchasing every import and reviewing every import device or anything like that, right? He gets some here and there, but that's not a huge focus for his channel. And he said on multiple occasions, it's because users here in the States, which is where, mainly, his main demographic is, they can't purchase the phone or they got to jump through hoops to get it. So it's like, why choose him when you could have chose someone, in India? There's plenty of great YouTube channels over there, or in the UK. There's a ton of great creators in the UK, to kind of advertise the phone. So like I said, I honestly don't know their thought process. I think they were just trying to, as much as possible, get as much hype behind it as possible. And it's kind of, in my opinion, kind of backfiring because now they're kind of to the point where it's like, at least here in the States, man, I see a lot of people that were interested are just like, whatever. Right now, of course, we're in the United States. We're Karens. We want everything our way. I get that because I'm being a bit petty with it. I do agree with that, but it would have been nice to have another option here in the States, even if it came unlocked and they had to sell it through their website or through Amazon or something like that. I would have loved to have the opportunity to still pick one up and not through StockX for thousands of dollars. That's don't do that. But like I said, I don't know, man. I don't know. I want to say that they did kind of post. Oh, here it is. They kind of were talking about, some of their reasoning behind it. And they were like, pretty much they would love to bring it to, the entire world, but they're trying to focus on their home markets, which is UK and Europe. They got strong partnerships with carriers. I guess this might be on carriers in those two particular markets. He's like, it takes a lot to launch a smartphone, as you know, from ensuring the handset is supported by the country's cellular technologies to carrier partnerships and local regulation. And as we're still a young brand, we need to be strategic about it. Yeah. So like I said, that's my thing. I mean, even if they said, okay, we're not going to release it in the US, but we're going to make sure we build support for bands, the frequently used bands in the United States. So that way, if you want to import one, you know what I mean? You kind of don't have to worry about it absolutely not working, because even a little bit lower here, they even talk about it. They say, anyone who tries to use the Nothing phone in the US is likely to have unpredictable coverage on T-Mobile, which T-Mobile is pretty open about whatever devices you bring to their network. They generally don't care. But absolutely no voice over LTE for AT&T and no service at all on Verizon. So, like I said, it's definitely good grief. Camera, focus. There we go. It's definitely one of those things where I was like, yeah, no. Like, I'm not even worried about the specs. A lot of people are talking, really bad about the chipset and all that stuff. Man, that's the farthest thing on my mind. Because price-wise, where I'm expecting this to fall, well, it ain't coming to USD, so I can't really say, in terms of pricing. But I was personally expecting this to be between 400 and 5. The absolute most I would have said is 550. But between 400 and 500 was like the sweet spot for me personally. I still think at that price point, there are quite a few options. Pixel 6a is there for $100 more. If it's at 500, you could look at the Pixel 6. So there are some great options around that price point. But yeah, man, I would have loved to be able to play with this thing and kind of get one here in the States for sure. That's definitely a blow that I'm kind of hurting behind. I ain't even gonna lie. Let's see. And then pretty much down here, they're just talking about the US market, if anything, which obviously we already know. US market is really, really tough to break into. I'm not even going to sit here and pretend like it's easy because you already know we're here in the States, Apple, Samsung, Apple, Samsung, Apple, Samsung. So, like I said, I get it. Like I said, it just stinks. At least build the support in. And if people want to import one in or buy one through your site for the US, more power to them. It's kind of like, Vivo and things like that. Like I'm sure you'll be able to still import one. Like you'll still be able to buy one and have it, shipped to you or whatever. It'll probably just be really tough at first because they're already doing this whole limited thing and all of that good stuff. So it'll probably just be tough at first. But yeah, kind of stinks. I really was interested in it. I know a lot of people weren't interested in it, but I was definitely interested in it for sure. Johan said, the Nothing Phone 1. Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. The Nothing Phone 1 has 80% materials are from China. Maybe that's the reason. I don't know, man. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Bringing to NA would be too expensive for nothing. It took OnePlus 5 gens to get here native in the States. But the thing with OnePlus, though, you could still, if I'm not mistaken, buy from their sites. You didn't have carrier support, but it was like buying an unlocked phone. It's kind of was like the Essential phone. Like you could buy the Essential phone unlocked, and it supported the bands, for the carriers here in the States. You just couldn't go to a carrier store and buy one. And like I said, with that, I would have been fine with that. I mainly try to stick to unlock devices whenever I can, but I would have bought one for 450. I would have bought one outright. Like, why not? Give it a shot, man. Love supporting new companies and trying to get more competition. That's the problem we got here in the States right now. It's not enough competition. Hey, Hawks, good evening. Good evening. I hope all is well with you. Hope all is well with you. I understand why, but still, it's very disappointing. And also, did I see they are following OnePlus? I don't even want to talk about the lottery system stuff because and the thing is, I feel like for some reason they feel like it works because they're not just sitting back with a ton of stock. But like the thing that ends up happening, in my opinion, is you get a lot of users that are just like, you know what? I'm gonna go get something else. The Nothing Buds one. I wanted a pair to try out. Literally had no luck with the lottery systems, and I just gave up. I just kept what I had and didn't buy them. Still to this day, haven't bought them. So I get what they're trying to do with the whole lottery system. They're trying to create like the whole, supply versus demand shortage type deal. But yeah, man, I honestly think in the long run, they need to just, here's the website, phone drops at this time, try to get a phone. If you get one, great. If you don't, we're going to drop some at this time or whatever. But, what do I know? I've never put out a smartphone before. Juan, and what's up, Juan? Hope everything is good with you too, man. He said nothing in regions that get IQ and Poco is gonna get rocked. A Neo 6 or Poco X4 GT are in the 450 range with 870. And that's another thing. Like with that type of competition, man, like you have manufacturers from overseas who don't mind putting, great specifications in like these super, and I don't even want to call them budget devices, but like these super mid-range devices, man. Like that's a lot of competition. Like, how do you, and I mean, we haven't seen the software yet, so I don't want to speak, until how to hang now, until we've actually seen the software. Like, I don't want to speak on it until we've seen the software. But it's like, okay, I don't know, man. I hope it works out for him because, like I said, I love competition and I would love to see it finally make it to the States. But I, even at 450, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Cause like you got that type of, you have that type of competition, just overseas. Imagine here in the States, man, too. It's like if you bring it at 450, I'm not even gonna talk iPhone people because if you want an iPhone, you're gonna get an iPhone. That just is what it is. But like even in Android land, like you got Pixel 6a at 450. And I'm not saying that Pixel 6a is just automatically gonna be a better device than this. We don't know because this isn't even out yet. But my bad, I had to take a quick sip. But at the same time, it's like we kind of know what to expect from the Pixel 6a because Tensor, we've already experienced Tensor, great chipset in my opinion. Camera set, we already know in terms of the camera set that these are sensors that Google's used in the past. So the cameras is going to be on point. And software, well, we already know software because most of us have been running Android either 12 betas or we've been running Android 13. So we know what to expect from the software side. So it's just like, I don't know nothing. Like, I don't know, man. I'm excited to see how it plays out, man. Because like I said, I always love competition, but it really does seem like nothing is about the. I hate to go for the old age old kind of knock on them or joke, but it seems like they might be about to become nothing. In all honesty, man, because like I said, from a horror perspective, it has the cool LED, which like from a nostalgia play definitely works. I get that, like it definitely works. Because like I said, I know that was one of the things that got me kind of excited because it's different. It's different. And that's what kind of excited me. But like I said, we haven't seen the software. The launcher, I don't really want to count that just because said it's just their launcher. They haven't really done much with that, in all honesty. I don't even think we've gotten another beta from it. At least I haven't been keeping track of it. So we might have, but I don't know, man. I honestly don't know. I don't know. Mm. The US made its bed with Samsung and Apple. Definitely true. Definitely true. And like I said, I don't want to say that to take away and make it seem like Apple and Samsung don't make great devices. I think that they do. I honestly think you, in this day and age, regardless of if you're going, I would say like mid-range, like you're talking about what Juan is saying with the Poco X4 GT or the IQ or whatever, like at that price point of 450, you can get a great smartphone experience. At $600, you can get a great smartphone experience. At $700, you can get a great experience. At $800, great. It's like at every price point, there is a great smartphone experience. So it's like you kind of have to try to find a bad phone nowadays. Like it's like you have to really, really try. Like I haven't had a phone at least that I've picked up. Now I mainly stick to flagship because that's just me. But like it's been a while since I've picked up a device and I've just been like, I don't like this. Like, it's been a long time. It's like, I may not like certain aspects of a device, but I can always generally find a few things that really draw me to a device, like a few things that really draw me to it. So I don't know, man. It's kind of hard to find a bad device nowadays. Like, that's why it kind of kills me. I guess that'll kind of take us into, what I also wanted to talk about as well with this whole boring conversation. People saying, things like what Samsung is doing, like the S22 Ultra is boring, or oh, my Vivo is over in the living room charging. But like, smartphones nowadays are just boring, boring, boring. I honestly think we just need to find a better word than boring, right? Because I feel like when you say something is boring, that tends to have a negative connotation behind it. Whereas if you say something like, well, it's reliable, it's stable, you know what I mean? But I know exactly what to expect. That sounds a little bit I won't say a little bit. It sounds a lot better than just saying something is boring, and it doesn't have like the negative connotation. Because I kind of always, anytime I hear somebody say something is boring, it kind of gives me that negative connotation, like they're kind of saying it's not good. Whereas like things can be boring, but that doesn't mean it's not good, right? Like, and like I said, I generally feel like people say things like the S22 Ultra or the Fold 3 are boring devices because they're not huge steps from their predecessors. Which in the Fold territory, Samsung, you got no excuse. I don't care what nobody say. You ain't got no excuse. You could definitely be doing more there, and you should be doing more there, 110%. But for like slab style smartphones, for the most part, man, like we've honestly hit pretty, I would say pretty close to peak smartphone. The things that, because I know I always get accused of it. People will be kind of quick to say, well, that's super nitpicky. No one's gonna notice that or whatever. But like the thing is phones are so good, you have to like nitpick to kind of find things that you don't necessarily, you know what I mean, care for. Like for me, it honestly becomes a thing where it's like, okay, if I'm naming, like, take the S22 Ultra, for example, right? If I'm saying, okay, things I don't like about this phone, the shutter delay, in the camera, and the UI animations, everything else with this particular device, I'm good with it. I'm good with it. I wish that the sensors on the telephoto lenses were bigger so I could actually use them in low light. But besides that, because that's hardware. But besides those three things, like those, for the grand scheme of what you get with this phone, those are relatively hitting the mic, relatively, I can't even talk, relatively smaller, issues or nuances and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? So I don't, by any stretch of the imagination, think that the S22 Ultra or even the iPhone 13 Pro Max, I don't think that they're boring phones. Like, I look at phones as tools to get something done, right? I don't go in like my craftsman toolkit and say, man, that hammer is fun to use. Now, if you go to like a tool enthusiast, they might get giddy with excitement over new, over new tools, the same way we as the tech community get really, really giddy and excited over new devices coming out. But like to say fun, like this is fun, that's not fun. Like, dude, this is a tool. Now I can use this and have fun by playing games, watching content, whatever. But this in itself is not meant, in my opinion, to be fun. It's a tool. So you use it as a tool and you choose the right tool for the job. Whether you need a ton of zoom, whether you need a bigger screen to watch your content, a la foldable, whether you need, the Tab S8 Ultra as a tablet for a bigger screen, like whatever, like everything is a tool. So you have to find the right tool for whatever it is that you're trying to do. But that doesn't make things boring. I feel like we got to a place where phones have become so good that people are just bored. I'm gonna use air quotes for now. Bored whenever they talk about just like the traditional slab style smartphone. It's like they want something different. And I get wanting something different, but just because you want something different doesn't mean that this is boring. Doesn't mean the iPhone's boring. Doesn't mean that the Vivo X80 Pro is boring because it's a slab. Like, I don't know. I just think that we just need a better word than boring, in all honesty. Even if we switch out boring for, it's tried and true. I would rather people say it's tried and true than say something's boring. Boring just has a negative connotation, in my opinion. He said, yup, one, the Chinese variant of the Neo 6 has a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. Oh, I didn't even know that. GG's, nothing. GG's, good game. Try again next year. Genosis said S22U boring. I know, dog. I'm hearing it. People saying it's boring. And I know when they say it, they don't mean it in like a negative way. It's just the term boring has a negative connotation to it. So instead of saying maybe boring, let's say, it's a tried and true device, right? This over S21, it's not vastly different. Like, it's not a vastly different phone. I mean, the design is different. You got your S Pen down there and things like that, but it's not boring, man. It's like, I don't know, man. He said, laugh out loud. I think those people are just bored with tech because they're Sam Apple free. And I agree with that, Barry. It's like, if I feel like instead of saying something is boring, you should say I'm burnt out from buying, say, Apple or Samsung, right? Because that's kind of how I was starting to feel. It's like, okay, I already know I get every new Galaxy, I get every new iPhone. I'm now on the path to get every new Pixel. It's like, okay, I'm not bored of those devices. I'm burnt out in a sense of I want to try something different. So what do? I go and at least buy one import a year. Last year it was the Xiaomi Mi 11. This year it was the Vivo X Fold, right? Next year I'll try a device from a different manufacturer that's not any of the ones that I've had. Maybe I'll try a Sony. Maybe I'll try Poco, which I think Poco and Xiaomi are related. But maybe I'll try. I really want to try Oppo. Maybe I'll try Oppo if they come out with like a Gen 2 of the fine end. Maybe I'll try that, right? So, like I said, just in my opinion, like instead of being bored, kind of come out your comfort zone and try something that you maybe wouldn't have thought of trying. You don't have to go flagship. Mi 11 isn't like their ultra premium flagship. It's like the base model. But I got that phone and it literally felt like it felt it felt so much like a flagship device that I am in my review for it. And I had to correct myself later. In my review for it, I'm looking at it compared to like the S21 Ultra and stuff like that, right? Or not the S21 Ultra, but like the S21 Plus. Like I'm looking at it compared to that, and it's like this is Xiaomi's base phone. This is competing with the S21, not the S20, not the S21 Plus. So I had to correct myself. Like there's a whole nother model that's the Xiaomi Mi 11. I think it's the Xiaomi Mi 11 Plus or Mi 11 Pro or something like that. So yeah, man, I don't know. I'm not an interesting person. I don't do anything interesting, so I rely on fashion new facts. One, I rely on flashy new phone colors and animations to entertain me. Huge facts, dog. Huge facts, man. Huge facts. LaShawn said, my bank account is boring. I can't with you, dog. Nah, man, you're just living smart, bro, because you'll see a lot of people put themselves in debt over trying to get new phones and stuff like that. And to be 100% transparent, I've done that in the past. Like before starting YouTube, like and I'll never forget it. I literally signed with T-Mobile and I went crazy. I ended up with like a $400 phone bill. And at the time, I didn't have any kids. I was still living at home with the folks. So I was like, oh, 400. I could spend that to always have the latest and greatest. I got 2-3 phones, financing and all that. And then I started paying bills and stuff like that, man. I'm like, yo, I gotta fix this. Ever since then, if I'm not getting a crazy good deal, carrier won't be getting my money. I'll be buying unlocked so then I don't have to think about it afterwards. Some of the people that call certain phones boring don't even own them. They're just and Bradley, that's a great point. I didn't even think about that. That's huge right there. I'm still seeing people talk about pixel issues that other people have had and have already reported that they are no longer having. It's like, bro, how are you trying to sit here and talk about issues, from a different creator when that creator themselves have came out and said this issue is fixed for me, whether it was via Twitter or via their YouTube channel. It's like, bro, like at this point, man, you're just, I don't know. At that point, I'm just like, whatever. But yeah, man, that's another thing too. People talk a lot about stuff without owning it. That's another reason I won't really get into it with the nothing phone and try to like judge it or classify it. I haven't used it. I can't talk about anything I haven't used, man. I can give you like a general opinion based off of what I know about tech and my experience. But in terms of like a real, like, yes, you should get that. No, you shouldn't touch that. I can't do that, man. I haven't used it. Haven't used it. Genosa said, nah, bro, they're just children needing Disney Plus content 24/7. I can't, man. I can't. So those people don't have the X80 Pro. They either have an Apple and buy and return Samsungs or vice versa. They don't Barry, that's huge right there. Like, and again, I'm never gonna be the one to try to tell other people how to spend their money. I'm not doing that. Like I'm 110%. I will never do that. But the one thing that I will say, like what I will say though, and this is again a me personal, your favorite creator, you don't got to try to go and name drop or anything like that. Like you don't have to do any of that, right? Oh my goodness. Phone link. Please stop sending me the same notification over and over and over again. Like that's kind of wild. I didn't know it did that. Okay, there we go. It stopped. I closed it out. Whew. But anyway, yeah, like the thing is, and this is again me, like you will never see me buy a phone, right? Like you'll never see me buy a phone, have it for, a few days or a week or something like that, return it and still try to put content out on it. No, Like that is and again, this is just for me and my channel. I'm not talking about any other creators, man. If the shoe fits and you could put it on and rock with it, if that's how you feel. But I'm just saying for me personally, on my channel, I cannot do that. Because one, I haven't used a device long enough to be able to tell you anything concrete. Like before I even want to give an like sometimes I don't even want to give an impression on a device a week in because I'm still finding things to talk about. Like with Samsung phones in the past, for the most part, I'm pretty up to date now with Sammy. But like with the Vivo, for example, it took me 3 weeks to put out my first piece of content, like video content that wasn't a live stream on that phone because I'm like, whoa, bro, I was able to customize things that I was like, wait, I have to use good luck to get to this on my Samsung devices. Now, I'm happy that you still can do it on a Samsung device, but I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. Like, I never would have thought I would be able to change something like this. Like, I can change animation speed without having to go into developer settings, stuff like that. So, I really wanted to spend time with that phone and really set it up before I said anything about it, man. Plus, I was getting updates like crazy. Like, I want to say altogether, I've had it at this point for like just over 3 weeks, maybe almost a month at this point, maybe about a month, close to it. And I've gotten like 4 software updates. Like I keep getting updates for it. So I don't want to, put out a video or content and whatever I have problems with gets updated. And then I got to come back and make another video. Like, nah, man, I ain't doing all of that. I'm going to just take my time and enjoy the tech, enjoy the phone. I took that phone with me everywhere. I took it to Clearwater. I took it to, it ended up being somewhere out in Kissimmee. We did like one of those like vacation homes. We did that. I took it out there with me. I'm taking it to Disney World, taking it to Universal. Like that phone's been all over with me, man. My issue with most modern phones, especially with flagships, are removing hardware features. That's definitely true, dude. Definitely true. I could say right now, just because it's on my desk, MST, MST, I almost say headphone jack too, but headphone jack for me personally isn't the greatest, but I know why people want it. But MST, micro SD, I probably would use that. I probably would use that. So trust me, I definitely hear where you coming from. He said, "Good evening, Ike. What's up, Big John?" He said, "I finally stepped up in the smartphone again, and now rocking the S22 Ultra and went with the burgundy color. Hey, that's what's up, dude. It's a beast of a phone. I absolutely love mine, man. Can't wait to see what you think, dog. Love it, love it, love it. Good stuff, man. Congratulations, yo. Mi 11 Pro. Appreciate you, Barry. Like I said, I know somebody was gonna correct me, man. I think most US consumers are bored because most of them buy from carriers where all they see, yeah, exactly, right? And it's like I literally had this conversation with my mom yesterday. We were talking because my dad is you guys know my dad's kind of in the market. I'm kind of trying to push him to wait for the Pixel 6a because I think that would be perfect for him. But he might not be able to wait. His phone's kind of cracked up and stuff. But she said the same thing to me because I asked her, I was like, so what's my dad's budget? And like what kind of is his budget and what were you looking at getting him? And she was like, oh, I was just gonna get him, the S21, which is what I have. And she told me her budget or whatever. And I was like, I don't even think that T-Mobile, because they get their phones through T-Mobile's trade-in deals. She's like, I didn't even, or I told her, I was like, I didn't even know that they still sold it. And I went on their site. They don't sell the S21 series. Now they sell the S21 FE. And I told her, she's like, but this phone looks exactly the same as mine. What's the difference? And I'm kind of naming off, some things here and there. It ain't that big of a difference. And she's like, so what's the point of so she asked me, she's like, so what would be the point of me upgrading? And I told her, I said, exactly, there isn't one. There's not enough different. Like my parents, they get a phone and they literally keep it until the wheels fall off, man. So it's like if my mom, who is the most average, like my mom can be techie with certain things in terms of like setting up stuff, but she is not like a techie person. It's like for her to notice that and to be like, oh, word, like it's the same thing. I could pass on that, and she has the capability to upgrade. And she's just like, nah, I'm good. Like that speaks volumes to me. Speaks volumes to me. It definitely seems like I would say the base model and the plus of the S series is definitely needing some love in terms of what they offer. Samsung's focus has really been on the Ultra line, in my opinion. I think that they maybe need to give the Ultra line a refinement year to kind of polish some of the things that, camera, shutter, delay issues, animations, stuff like that. Maybe make the telephoto sensors bigger. It's like take a year off from trying to do big flashy things for the Ultra and kind of buff up your base and then that middle option a little bit. I think the S22 Plus is solid, but you could tell it's definitely Samsung neglected those two this year for sure. Hawk said it's not because they're bored. They buy from the carrier to be on installment plan. Facts. That's a good point too. They paying for these phones for like 2 or 3 years, yo. Umar said, bruh, having 2 or 3 phones from the carriers. Yes, sir. I sure did it. And when I got that bill, I was like, ooh, never again. Like I said, at first it was fine because I have no real responsibilities. But after I started paying for stuff, it was like, yeah, no, can't do that. Hawk said that's why the old odd age is don't knock it till you try it. Don't knock it till you try it. 110%. Because you couldn't have told me, I'll say what are we in 2022? I'll say 4 or 5 years ago, you couldn't have told me that I would have put down my 13 Pro Max and literally not touch it. It's been sitting in the same spot on my little nightstand. It's been sitting here. When did my Windows PC come in? It's been months. Like it was before the move. Like I haven't picked it up and put in like, either my main SIM card or my secondary SIM card in my iPhone in months. Like you would have never been able to tell me that. Like one, I was heavily in the ecosystem, and two, I was like, I'm good. But it's like, man, once you start trying what Xiaomi has to offer, Samsung's latest and greatest, what Google's doing with the Pixel 6, it's like, yo, I can't. Like, I can't go back to being locked into something. Now, like I said, I think that Apple still makes great devices. I think their devices are great. But for me, someone who likes to flip and flop, like right now, I'm back using my S22 because it's been a minute and I just kind of missed it and wanted to play around with it. But tomorrow afternoon, I could be back in my Pixel. The afternoon after that, I could be back on the Vivo or on my Fold. Like I switch around stuff so much, man. So much. There were a lot of Samsung S22 series phones for sale within a month or two after launch. Facts, Hawks, because like it was like, in my opinion, honestly, at least nobody I know was buying it. Like nobody was buying because it was like, okay, I have an S21. What's the difference? And they're kind of just like, and in some areas, if you went plus model, it was a downgrade, if I'm not mistaken. The S21 Plus was 1440p display. S22 Plus is capped at 1080p, if I'm not mistaken. And again, like screen resolution doesn't mean everything. You can have a fire 1080p display, but I'm just saying it's like it was a downgrade in some areas. So I get it. They did bring down the price, but it's like at what cost? Like they could definitely give you that 1440p screen for what they charge for the S22 Plus, 110%. Yep, I don't have any issues with how people run their channels. I just feel if you get an opportunity to go out of your comfort zone, exactly, bro. And I think that that's what it is. Like you have to it's like you have to try new things. You have to. If I buy only the latest Galaxy device every year, at some point it's like, okay, I'm gonna get burnt out because I'm pretty much buying the same phone every year because it's to the point now where all they can do for slab smartphones is kind of be incremental. If you really think about it, all they could do is really be incremental. So I'm not even mad at smartphone manufacturers. Now there are some little things here and there that they could add. Give me 60-watt wired charging, Samsung. 45 is whatever. It's like minimum, but give me 60. I want to be able to charge this from 0 to 100 in say 40 minutes or so. I'd be cool with that. I think right now it's at like 55 or just at an hour. Give me 40 minutes, from 0 to 100. I'm cool with that. Give me the ultrasonic max fingerprint sensor. The ultrasonic on here is good and fast. I've never had an issue with it, but give me the max one. I'm paying. Well, I do trade-ins, but retail is $1,200. Just give me that. Just give me that, Samsung. Give me that. Right, Genosis, explore new kinks. Explore new kinks, man. It reminds me of that episode of American Dad where I'm not gonna get too far into it because I ain't trying to get demonetized. But where like Stan was all like traditional and like conservative with like his activities, and his wife Francine was like trying to get him to kind of explore like new kinks and new things, and it just kind of reminded me of that episode. For anybody who's seen American Dad, super funny show, absolutely love it. That, Futurama, Family Guy, love it. Exactly, MST and micro SD. So silly to take that. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, how much extra does it really cost you to add micro SD card support and to add MST? Like, what? How much more does that cost? Because like the Tab S8 Ultra has micro SD card because they're pushing it as a productivity device, a content consumption and content creation device. Well, isn't this a miniature Tab S8 Ultra? I mean, you got the S Pen. You know what I'm saying? You got the big, beautiful Samsung display panel. I mean, when LumaFusion drops, it's coming out on this the same way it's coming out on the Tab S8 Ultra. Samsung micro SD card. Even if I could, like, because here's my thing, right? If they added those creator specific features, this could literally become an all-in-one device. And when I say all-in-one, I mean all-in-one from a creator standpoint, right? Apple will always have their ecosystem and things working seamlessly, right? Like they'll always have that. But having everything on one device, I don't need to worry about AirDrop. I don't need to worry about, file transfer or any of that. One device, right? Literally plug this into an external screen with a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse, LumaFusion using Samsung Dex. Come on, my guy. And the video is more out of that, the main lens is more than good enough. I've used B-roll from this and people didn't even know. They thought I was using my ZV-1. Like people didn't know. Like smartphones in terms of the video, at least I will say Apple's video and Samsung's video, I've literally used that in what is the word? Interchangeably with my ZV-1. People didn't even notice. They didn't even notice. Didn't even bat an eyelash. I even had somebody in my comments tell me that my B-roll looked good, like really good. So I don't know, man. You could literally throw micro SD card support in there. I could use the SD card support, get like a really fast read and write speed one, edit all my videos in LumaFusion right here using the S Pen for that extra precision. Come on, Samsung. Come on, Samsung. You partnered with LumaFusion when the Tab S8 Ultra came out. So you knew LumaFusion was coming. You want to tote this as a productivity and a content creator's device. Make this an all-in-one device. Give me micro SD card. I could edit right off of that. I don't have to worry about my clips taking up too much space and deleting this and removing that. I could literally buy a terabyte SD card, throw it in there. I got a terabyte just for my content creation stuff. And then I got 256 gigabytes of storage natively on the device for everything else. Like, come on, man. Come on. Yo, Mims, he said, I'm hella late. It's all good, dude. It's all good. You can always catch the replay, homie. We're going to be here a little bit longer, maybe about 10 minutes or so for sure. And yo, Barry, you right. That logo, absolute fire, Mims. You killing it, dog. I love it. I love it. I love it. Samsung has neglected the S series since the S20. That's a good point, dude. That's a good point. I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. Am I planning to flip the 13 Pro Max? I don't normally trade or sell anything. I normally do trade-ins. So like S23 Ultra, I'm trading this in for it. Whether it's incremental or not, I'm trading this in. I'm going S23 Ultra. 13 Pro Max, I'm trading it in, going 14 Pro Max. Like that's kind of how I recycle. I just find it ends up being a little bit cheaper. I know sometimes you can get a little bit more if you go on Swappa or you go local on OfferUp. I just don't feel like dealing with people, man. Even though it seems like I'm super social with all of you guys, it's because I kick it with you guys. Y'all are my people. I love tech. We talk tech and all of that. But like, I'm not the person to be all just out trying to always let me flip this and sell that. And dude, that's just not my style. Me personally, I used to be like that, and I've really chilled out, and lately with that. So for me, man, I'm personally gonna make sure I just recycle, do trade-ins, man. Take advantage of it. Now, Pixel, I'm gonna keep my Pixel 6 Pro, and I can run Android 14 beta on it. And Pixel 7 Pro is what I'm grabbing in its place. But I will be keeping my 6 Pro. I love it. Absolutely love my 6 Pro. Any interesting going in on a Windows 10 ARM thing? The whole thing, and what's going on, David? Hope everything is good with you, dude. My whole thing with ARM on Windows is I just haven't seen I won't say developers, but I just haven't seen Windows kind of go too hard with it and take it super serious. I know that they did the Surface. I don't remember which Surface Pro it was, but they did an ARM one, and then it's like you kind of didn't hear much more about it after that. But I don't know, man. We'll see. It's not that I'm not interested in it, but me personally, man, only thing I would use Windows on is like my desktop, and that's because I do all my work from here. I run my live streams, I game on here, I do pretty much everything. When it comes to content creation, like my video editor, Final Cut Pro through and through. I always use Final Cut Pro. That's just what works for me and my workflow. So, in a laptop form factor, I don't really have much use for Windows, but desktop Windows all the way for me personally. Yo, Renz, man, you snapping, dog. Appreciate you. Shout out to you, man, for the super sticker, dude. Oh my goodness, yo. Yo, appreciate you, dog. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Oh my goodness, man. Yo, appreciate you. Thanks so much for the super sticker, dog. Have a good night, dude. Take it easy, man. I see your message at the bottom. Take it easy, dude. I appreciate you 110%, man. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And now I got to go back to where I was. Oh, I was right here. Galaxy Book S was Windows 10 on ARM and the battery lasted forever. So then that's what's up. Because no, honestly, man, like all I would want from a laptop is something that can edit 4K 30 footage, multiple cameras, because I do multiple angles. So multiple camera angles, 4K 30. Battery life is whatever. I'm always, for the most part, near a charger. I don't take my laptops on the go with me really anyway. So like I said, for me, what it all comes down to, David, is just the video editing software. If I wasn't tied in to Final Cut, I would definitely explore it. But for me personally, Final Cut is just where it's at, man. A lot of the phones coming out have been a downgrade to their predecessors. Yeah, in some ways, Hawks for sure. It's like they increase in certain areas and then they decrease in other areas. It's like, why can't you just keep what was there and just increase? Like, come on. I don't know. I don't know. Yo, Sep dog, bruh. Appreciate you, dog. Appreciate the $5 holla, homie. Appreciate you, dog. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, man. Thanks so much, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. S21, S21 Plus, War 1080p 2. That's the one it was. I almost called Juan Barry because Barry's the one that normally keeps me on point, if y'all can't tell. But no, Juan's right. That's the one. So S21, S20 Plus were also 1080p. That's when they dropped the resolution. S20, S20 Plus were 1440. It's like, why for that price, how much they were charging? Why can't we have 1440p? Like, I don't know. Phones aren't interesting anymore. Dual screen is where it's at. I will agree to disagree in terms of phones aren't interesting, man. Vivo X80 Pro is pretty interesting to me. Even S22 Ultra is still pretty interesting to me, man. But different shows for different folks. I do agree with you though. Dual screens is absolute fire. I love the Surface Duo. Like I said, shout out to the homie. I don't like putting people on blast, but mine definitely went to a good home. I wouldn't have sold that to. There's only two people I would have sold mine to. So I'm happy that the person that did buy it got it. Yeah. I'm just gonna leave it at that because they might be working on some content. Better be working on some content. You can't tell the difference between 1440p and 4K. I mean, on a smartphone, probably not, but that's why smartphones, for the most part, have 1440p displays. Only Sony is really tapping into 4K. I've never used a phone with a 4K panel, so I honestly can't tell you. But like I said, I personally prefer 1440p. I don't look at it so much, and this might just be me, David. I try not to look at things from a perspective of I can't tell the difference. I try to look at it from the perspective of I'm paying how much and you're not giving me blank. That's kind of how I look at it, right? It's like, okay, if I'm paying, this type of money and this other manufacturer can offer me 1440p, why aren't you offering me 1440p? That's how I look at it. But again, that might just be me. Give me back IR Blaster and SD card and MST. Yeah, for sure. Scoop, you got a point. MST is definitely antiquated. I would say most of the places that I go to now have the little tap to pay terminals, right? Like I will agree with you on that. I'll agree with you on that. It's just nice to have that peace of mind that I could use it anywhere, whether they have the tap to pay or not, you know? B Floyd, yep, just turned on my TV with the X80 Pro IR Blaster. Let's go. Yo, Barry. About to make me go out and buy that X80 Pro, dog. Let me chill. Let me chill. Let me chill. Oh, they only removed it in the States? I didn't know that. I thought they removed it from all of them. Well, that sucks. Why we got see, man, Samsung be on one with that. Because they do the same thing with Exynos versus Snapdragon. Like, no, come out with your own good custom chip. Not that Exynos is terrible, but come out with your own custom chip where you focus on the things that matter and offer it everywhere. I know that there's patents and stuff like that that they got to work through, but yo, you're Samsung. Figure that out. Like one of the big, like one of the biggest tech conglomerates on the planet, dude. Y'all could figure that out for sure. All right, guys, we're gonna pretty much finish up these last few comments here, then we're gonna go ahead and head on out, man. If manufacturers gave you SD card and headphone jacks, how could they upsell you Bluetooth buds and more built-in storage? Why do you hate companies making more money on you to cover basic use? Juan, I'm dead, dude. But so right. So right. Oh man, so right. So right. And the craziest part to me too is like I can't speak to all of them, but I could say Samsung, for example. Like with Samsung, when you even if like when you pre-order and even if you do a trade-in, they give you so much in terms of trade or not trading, but pre-order gifts. Like with my S22 Ultra, I could have literally gotten my S22 Ultra, a Galaxy Watch, buds, and all of that stuff. Like it's like they already give you this stuff. So just since you're giving it to me for free, just I don't know, man. Like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Exactly, Savage. That's the purpose of the Note. It's supposed to be that all-in-one device, like content consumption. Shoot, beautiful 4K, content with this. Throw in an LumaFusion. Use the S Pen for precision and pinpoint edits. And oh man, come on, dude. Come on, dude. But y'all right though. That's a lot of profit that they gotta walk away from if they did that. I want that soulless green Pixel 7 Pro. David, when I said no apps and I think you're talking about still Windows 10 for ARM. I'm not saying that the apps aren't there. I don't know because I don't use Windows 10 when it comes to ARM. Only ARM laptop I own or laptop and desktop is an M1 Mac Mini and the MacBook Air. So I can't speak to applications. I haven't run into any compatibility issues with either of my Macs in terms of apps. But again, like I said, I don't know what the Windows side looks like because I'm not hearing too much about it. So if Microsoft wants me, if Microsoft wants me to take it serious, start advertising and doing the heavy lifting. Apple's been shoving M1 ARM processors down everybody's throat. They putting M1s in everything, right? So I'm not trying to say that, Apple's the greatest or anything like that. But if you want me to take something if you want me to try to take an initiative that you're doing seriously, show me that you're doing the work kind of thing, right? And not on the back end where I got to go look for the information. No, plaster it on everything. Microsoft makes great hardware. Surface hardware is some of the best on the market, in my opinion. Rivals anything Apple's doing. The Duo, in terms of build quality, is leagues, in front of a lot of devices, man. Even like I said, the Surface devices, like the laptops, they're 2-in-1. I'm spitting like crazy. The 2-in-1s and stuff like that. All of that stuff, man. Like they're killing it. So it's one of those things where it's like if they really want people to take it serious, man, put it out there, advertise it, plaster it all over everything. Don't work on it kind of in the cut. Like, nah. Let me know why I should care about this. You know what I mean? I'm not sure what you're talking about in terms of the M1, but if you're talking about what I was saying in terms of video editing, I do it every time I edit a video. Final Cut Pro, I have a top-down ZV-1, 4K 30. I have 4K 30, a ZV-E10, 4K 30 footage. It literally chops through it like butter, no issues. So, yeah, my M1 can do that. I think the exception has been with the Xperia and the Xiaomi 12 Ultra is coming soon, right? I think it's like July 12th is like supposed to be like the release. I know that they just sent out flyers for their thing, bro. I'm trying not to get too pumped, man, because I don't want to. I don't want to go. I'm trying to budget and save for the fall because the fall is gonna be super expensive for me. Fold 4, I'm still pretty undecisive on what I'm gonna do. Fold 4, like I said, I'm still pretty undecisive on what I'm gonna do. iPhone 14 Pro Max, I'm definitely copping that. And Pixel 7, Pixel Watch, I'm definitely copping that as well. So it's gonna be a pretty expensive fall, man. So I don't know, dude. I'm trying. LaShawn said all phones need 1440p. I'm dead. Sepdog says selling the OnePlus 9 Pro and buying a standalone desk or an office chair and then a MacBook. Hey, good for you, dog. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. Exactly, Savage. You got to use what is it called? Parallels. And you can run Windows 10 and ARM. And I can say certain applications they're not compatible. I don't know, like I said, if it's a Windows thing, I don't know. Again, like I said, I don't use Windows 10, the ARM version, consistently enough to comment on that. So I'm kind of leave that conversation where it's at because I don't talk about something I don't know a ton about. I'm just not going to do that. Mem said, same for me, Ike. Money getting thrown around this whole year. Yeah, bro. It is 110%, man. But with that one, man, we're going to go ahead and start wrapping it up. I know right now the homie Easy E is running the Tech Preacher podcast with the homie MPT, Michael Pepper Tech. We're going to go ahead and show Easy some love and skedaddle and head on right over there. But before we go, later on this evening, we got Juan and the homie TK with Best of Our Week. Make sure you guys check out their live stream. And as always, tomorrow, homie LaShawn, open mic night. Definitely check him out as well. So you got definitely going to be showing some of them creators some support. I'm done with you, Barry. Definitely show those creators some love and support, man. Thanks as always for showing my live stream some love and some support. This is your first time here. We do this every week when the live stream actually works. We do this every week at 9 p.m. Eastern time. But as always, this is Ike's Tech Talk. Oh, we getting ignorant tomorrow. You caught me right before the sign off, LaShawn. We ignorant tomorrow, y'all. Let's go. But anyway, this is Ike's Tech Talk. I'll catch you all on the next live stream next week. Have a good night, y'all. Peace.